Well, hello, EKN Nation. Welcome to another EKN Primetime Face2Face. It is Thursday, December the 19th. Less than a week away from Christmas. The 2024 season essentially done and dusted, if you consider WK Daytona as part of 2025. Of course, that's going to happen over the Christmas holidays, the week there, Kart Week down in Daytona. I'm Rob Howden, joined, of course, by David Cole here. Back with me after missing the Tuesday show with Andy Saisman as we talked about the challenge of the Americas and Shinko Tires. But David, this is it, man. We're again, as I said when I started the last show on Tuesday, we're kind of into focusing fully on 2025. We're going to be talking to a lot of the promoters over the next couple of weeks and then through into January as the winter series are getting underway. Of course, the other summer series will get started in the March, April, May months. But man, lots going on. Big guests coming today. The guys from Cup Karts North America South, Brett Spouty joining us from Precision Performance Karting, John Seglin along as well. But dude, almost wrapping up the year.
Yeah, essentially 2024 is done. You know, we're going to get into Christmas here, but all focus in the sport of karting is on 2025. You know, once we got through Thanksgiving, it was on to 2025. So, yeah, much better to have me here, Andy. I appreciate that.
From the get-go, I get burned. Wow, that's hilarious.
I mean, you got to have the rapport. You got to have the good little banter between us to get the show going as people come on to watch. So it's good. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be another busy year, that's for sure. A lot of Florida-based races in the first 3 months, 2.5 months of the year. Yeah. Before things move to Texas and other spots around the country. And then, of course, I got the Challenge of America stuff out west as well, too. So lots coming up in 2025 and excited for it.
Yeah, I was at the PRI show as well last week, and it's really good that we're obviously going CKNA right now. Cup Karts North America's had a really good opportunity to chat with the guys from Briggs, Kyle, and of course Dan Roach as well. We talked a lot about that. We're going to put together a big story as well, talking with Dan, maybe an interview style, kind of fill you in on what's happening coming into 2025 Briggs racing wise. But let's be real, David, CKNA had a monster year. Good numbers in the regional programs. Of course, the Grand Nationals was the biggest ever and could even be bigger next year. So again, I think the foundation is strong, and Briggs racing is really, it's been the foundation for the last number of years. But a lot of people jumping on board with that Briggs program.
Yeah, and it all starts at the grassroots level. I mean, you see the numbers across the country and Canada and other countries as well across the globe that are utilizing the Briggs and Stratton platform. And that's where it started in Cup Karts, which was the 206 Cup when it first started. Yeah. Is kind of the next level from doing your club racing, and that's what they've done. And now they've taken it to the national level and international level. They have the 4 divisions, South included, along with Canada, North and Northeast. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see a couple more spout up in the next couple of years, once, start moving out west, once people get on board with, what Jasperson and the organization's doing.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And again, so this show here, folks, is going to be about Cup Karts North America South, the CKNA South program. Of course, it's kicking off January 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at the 103rd Street Sports Complex, the track at Jacksonville, Florida. And Brett Spouty joining us. Let's bring Brett in right now so we can jump into this. We'll talk a lot about the Winter Nationals, which is coming up, as we said, in the first weekend of January. And then, of course, we'll dive into the rest of the 2025 season. Brett, first off, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Let's get this started, because I would be remiss if we didn't put a little ode, a little memorial to your grandpa Bill Spouty, who passed away. You guys had the memorial on Monday. One of the legends of the sport for sure, and I'm sure I saw there was like a Facebook or YouTube thing about him telling some stories, which I thought I watched a ton of that before I had to go back to work. Yeah. I would expect at the memoriam there was 1,000 stories the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, we had friends and family. Grandpa was mayor for a while in Bushnell, so there was a lot of, people from the city that he was a part of that worked on different projects. He was a big person that helped a lot of people, and a lot of people don't know that. He started Sumter County Youth Center 25 years ago. There's 2 centers now that serves over 300 or 400 kids a year, annually after school, summer programs. He was the one that started all that. I mean, there was a lot of things that he was a part of outside of racing, but then, whenever you bring in, our friends, our family that we've known, that he's known since, he was a board member with WK,
Yeah.
years and years ago. Yeah, it was a good thing to do. It obviously it's a bit of a bummer, obviously, but it's part of it. We have to honor him and just keep going and do what he would want us to do, which is to keep going and keep racing and keep helping everybody and just being good people.
Now, eventually, when you're the third generation, you got to say goodbye to the first one eventually, right? But again, like I said, his memory has left a mark on the sport. There's no doubt about that. Let's talk about how busy you have been over the last little while, because I know that we go back to the rest of the program, which kind of goes into March, April, May. But man, Jacksonville, 103rd Street Sports Complex, the Winter Nationals is back. Let's talk about where we are right now. Again, we're like 2 weeks away from that kind of get rolling, right? So where are you? Where are we on numbers right now for this one?
We are one shy of 200, which is by far the biggest event that the South has had, the biggest Winter National event. So this is great momentum. Last year we had a decent Winter National at NOLA. I think the date wasn't great, and it was schools and stuff like that. This year it landed perfect. We went ahead and did a Thursday, Friday, Saturday show, January 2nd through 4th. That way you got done at Daytona, on Monday? I lose track of days. You get done on the 30th, then you take the 31st off, you move in on the 1st, and then we start practicing again on the 2nd. Roll right into racing and finals. So, I mean, it's a great opportunity to be back in Jacksonville, to where the guys who want to go to Daytona can go and then hang out for a day or two in Florida and get bang for their buck on the drive down and stay for another few days.
And only a minor hangover, David, when you're moving in on the 1st.
Well, yeah, because you're talking 90 minutes away from the two places. So you don't have to travel far. So depending on how quick you can pack up on the 30th, I mean, you got a good 24-hour to 48-hour period where it's bringing the new year.
And listen, hey, if you're going to Daytona, obviously that's your program, right? Likely going to Daytona, maybe like you said, staying over to go to Jacksonville. But if you're someone staying home with the family, that's the cool thing. You can still hop in the truck and trailer and get down there on the 1st after celebrating New Year's and be there for the next race. Like you said, we got another guest coming in. We know we're going to get to 200 because the guest that's coming in, John Seglin from Precision Performance Karting, has a handful of guys that haven't even entered yet. Old school. So we're going to get – listen, what do you think? Are we thinking 225? Because there's always lots of walk-ups.
Yeah, there is. And, I'm always pretty reserved in this department. People
I go the other way.
I'm like, I think it's going to be a little bit less. But, I mean, it could, but, we saw the last couple of times we did this. Guys have accidents at Daytona. They break a car. They got to bail out. Someone gets sick. They got to go home. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Christmas is over. I'm ready to go racing already. The year, I'm tired of being up here in the cold. I want to go down south. So it kind of balances out. So I think this is a pretty good gauge. I would be cautiously optimistic to get to like 210, maybe 215. But I'm happy. I think this is a great turnout. We have virtually the parking is packed out. We are using every square inch that Jacksonville has to offer.
So awesome.
I mean, it is. You think back in the old school days, Jacksonville used to hold how many? I mean, it was couple hundred, right? And it was, space to move around. Everyone's got big trailers and motorhomes. So we are literally like, wedging you guys in there. Everyone's tight quarters. Everyone's having a great time with each other. We're using the auxiliary parking. There's plenty of time. It's great. It's great to walk into the place in the morning and see just wall-to-wall trailers and go-karts and people just having fun. That's what we try to do.
Well, here, I want to say this, Brett, because, David and I have been doing this a long time, and we kind of poke those certain numbers, 100, 150, 200 is a major national. Now, granted, we're going, 3, 4, 500 with some of these other events, but 200 entries is a major national event. When you pack a place like 103rd Street, it's going to be a heck of an event for sure.
Yeah, and most of these places, like you said, you're getting 300-400 at these other events, but that's the only event that's going on for like a month. We're literally talking about guys who are coming right from Daytona, taking a day and a half off, and coming right back to it. I mean, this is like, if you're a dirt sprint car or late model guy, this is like the speed weeks of karting almost, not to like steal any names or anything, but like it's progressive events throughout the week. There's 2 major events now that you can hit on one trip within 90 minutes of each other. So to be able to, for each of us to pull the numbers that we do, it's great things for karting in general.
We pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. Ready to step up your game? Joining the Rawlison Performance Group is the obvious choice to take your racing to the next level. Industry-leading driver development is provided by our staff of multi-time national champions, Super Nationals winners, and Team USA members. And at the same time, RPG continues to be a national-level powerhouse race team. Our goal is to help you raise your game and win races. We work with all age groups and are focused on developing those cadet and junior drivers who are ready to take the next step in their racing program. Rawlison Performance Group has set a new standard with our in-house engine program, AVP Engines, headed by Alex Vincent. AVP has become the benchmark in IAME competition. We have the largest OTK inventory that follows our race team, providing trackside parts at all the major events in North America. RPG also offers multilingual support with French, Spanish, and Portuguese-speaking staff. If you want to fight for championships or want to improve your skills and your chances to win, the answer is to call RPG at 503-260-4514. The Rawlison Performance Group. We race to win. History, success, family. Those are the 3 words that can describe Comet Kart Sales, one of the longest tenured karting businesses in the United States. The family-owned operation located just outside of Indianapolis has provided karts, parts, and services for thousands of racers in the near 6 decades of business. Their online store features everything you need, continually adding new parts to their product line. From full karting packages, new engines, spare or replacement parts, and safety gear, find it all at CometKartSales.com. Their Comet Racing Engine service has won multiple major events and championships over decades of karting and continues to offer the best trackside service in the industry, specializing in IAME X30, IAME Swift, and other 2-cycle power plants. Make sure to head to CometKartSales.com or call them at 317-462-3413 to be part of the Comet Kart Sales family today. Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network. Dave, let's bring John in right now too, just so we can add to that. With David, I know you had something you wanted to say. Well, we'll bring in John Seglem from Precision Performance Karting, of course, one of the powerhouse teams in Briggs 206 racing. I've had a chance to race with John's team on the Coyote Zenith, and a fantastic team. John, we'll come to you in a second. David, I know you had something you wanted to bring in there.
Well, I was going to say to Brett, this is probably your biggest event ever you've had, right? At over 200. Yeah. Last year, 177 at Jacksonville was the biggest. Staff wise, have you had to add people to it because of the staff or the size of the event? We've always talked with Andy Saisman, a longtime promoter. He has a formula for every certain percentage amount more of entries. He's got to add another person.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the logistics of what people don't sometimes see on the back end of how this stuff works is kind of interesting. I think we are well staffed this year. We've got a good group of corner workers. A lot of them come from Newcastle. Whenever it's snowing and it's cold and they're closed, they come down south. So we're getting a couple of Newcastle workers. We got a couple of our normals. We've brought on a new race director, Chad Dawkin, this year. So that's going to be a pretty cool little addition. So yeah, finally got ourselves a good race director that, it's been me.
He's done it all. He's done it all. Let's just say he's done it all.
I like the underlying
nice to have a well-seasoned driver who knows what's going on.
I like the underlying theme of road racing here right now too. You realize that, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Talking. This is good.
Yeah. So,
Awesome.
but
Hey,
yeah,
listen.
staff wise, it is a challenge, and it's hard to get to get the right people in the right spots is a big challenge. No matter what you're doing, 2-cycle, 4-cycle, a small business, it doesn't matter what you're running. To get the right person to fill the void that you have, it's a big deal. So whenever we're able to find that person and they learn what we need, what the racers want, how it all works and flows. It's a big deal. So we've got a lot of people that we've had for many years since we started, since Cup Kart started. Tech, those guys travel to every Cup Kart race. They're on the road every weekend almost. Whenever it gets into the summer. So consistency is a key, but finding good people who are knowledgeable enough to know that they're making the right thing, the right call is big. But we're good on staff.
Hey, John, let's come to you and ask the question: how important is a strong series like this, especially based in a lot of stuff's in Florida where you are? How important is it for you as a team owner to have a series like CKNA South and of course the Winter Nationals?
Well, it's extremely important. If you actually look at the level of competition that we have here in the South, it's the cream of the crop. I mean, I've got guys coming down. I think I've got Rothman and Capilongo that are coming down from Canada. And then, of course, I've got, some of my regular guys as well as some not so regulars that are going to be joining us from the Northeast. So they're wanting to come down and they're wanting to race against the best of the best in, a Brett talks about the tech aspect, and that is a big part of the success of the series is you pushing the tech, you see someone pushing the tech, that if they're pushing out of tech and they're giving each other high fives for the win, they earn the win. That tech staff is, I don't think there's any question of integrity of that group.
Oh, that's key. That's 100% key. Brett, let's come back. And for those who maybe are thinking about coming down to the event still, the Winter Nationals, what are we looking at in terms of the schedule for the event?
Yeah, so we're going to move in on Wednesday, somewhere around noon. We'll get started on that, run till about 6, 7 o'clock for check-in, registration, parking. Let's see, Thursday, practice will get started around 9 a.m., trying to get you about 5 rounds in. We'll lunch break drivers meeting will be on Friday or Thursday this year. So we're going to move drivers meetings up to try to give us more time on this will be Friday, Saturdays for Saturday, Sundays moving forward. And then we're going to do warm-ups, qualifying, and we're going to try to get 3 rounds of racing in all on Friday. So Friday's going to be a long day. There's going to be a lunch break, a dinner break, try to get you some night racing. Jacksonville, the city has just spent a ton of money about 2 years ago on all new LED lighting. There's like 50 LED lights on this place. And it looks like a NASCAR track.
This must go lighting.
Right.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah, so I mean they did a really nice job on doing that project. So the track is extremely well lit. I think the nighttime racing is something that we don't get to do a whole lot in Cup Kart. Obviously, this year we just did that at the Grands, but so that's a nice little feature. And then Saturday we get up, we do a warm up, and we do the finals, and we get you on the road. We're going to try to get you heading home by 3, 4 o'clock.
Wow.
That way you still got time to drive home Sunday, be ready for work or school, whatever you got going on the 6th.
So if you look at the categories, where are the big numbers?
Junior
total. Junior.
I got 40 juniors. I mean, it is
really.
Yes.
I'm shocked to see there's 15 kid karts.
That's the next one. I was going to say kid kart is the next big shocker to me. There's 15 kid karts, which
awesome.
Yeah, and then I mean everything else is standard operating numbers. You've got 40 juniors, 23 heavies, 30 lights, 30 mediums, 25 legends, 20 masters, cadets, and sportsmen's right around 10. So I mean there's not a small class, which is great. But yeah, I'm shocked with the 40 juniors and 15 kid karts.
Yeah, the kid karts is great. That's fantastic. And the juniors. John, who you got? Who you bringing to try to go for race wins?
Christopher McKeithen, of course. We're actually we're not sneaking up to Jacksonville anymore. We were going there this weekend to kind of get some laps in. And so we've got McKeithen, Jordan Klein out of the Northeast.
Yeah.
I got to go through and I got to look at my list because it's significant.
How many guys you got?
I've got 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
He's got a couple acres of paddock space.
But I was trimmed down, and I was not so voluntarily told I had to give up a little bit of space. So we're gonna, Parker Stewart. I think he's my sportsman. We got a couple of juniors. My nephew will be running. This will be one of his first nationals, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Yeah, but we've got 11. Yeah. Can't mention some stuff.
I love it. You can see you were thinking about saying something, but you didn't enter it. All right, so this race is coming up. So let's kind of make the opportunity now to shift and kind of look forward then with a big, huge Winter Nationals getting things underway. It's a bit of a break, Brett, to the next one, which is March 28th to the 30th, Carolina Motorsports Park in Kershaw. Let's talk about that one there. You've been there before. Was that back in 23 or?
Yes. So we skipped 24. Yeah, 23. So yeah, it was our season wrap up for 23. We kind of have to dance around spring nats a little bit again with big races. We try to give everyone that little bit of that break they need, and we're excited to go back to Kershaw. Kershaw does present some challenges. It's not like close to any big city, so there is a little bit of a hiccup there, but Kershaw in itself is a great track. I mean, I think when we went, we had about 100, maybe 95 or so, if my memory is right. And I think in almost every class, the win came down to 2 or 3 passes on the last lap. The track just races extremely well. It lends itself to a lot of opportunities for passing. It's a very abrasive track, so you can burn up a set of tires before you even realize it halfway through a race, and you're in trouble. I mean, it's a management game. Yeah. So it's a management game. You got to play the little bit of the mental game to know that you can't go push too hard. But at the same time, when the opportunities open up, there's plenty of them, and the track race is really good. Plenty of pits, plenty of paddock area. So we're excited about going back to Kershaw.
Can you draw from Trackhouse there? It's not that far from Trackhouse, is it? A couple hours?
I think it's like 2.5, something like that. Guys have tried pulling, they've tried starting a club there. From what I understand, it hasn't really gone over as well as they wanted it to. I think the track just being a little bit rough just kind of, deters people from going as often. I think it's great. I think it just adds a whole nother element to the game, the racecraft of it, that you've got to manage another part of it. Not only do you have to race the guy good, you got to take care of your equipment to get to the end of the day. It makes it a whole nother level of difficult.
We pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is SodiCart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to the new exclusive importer, the Karting Distribution, led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer SodiCart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers product in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has expanded its dealer network over the last year, bringing the Sodi brand to several local clubs and regional programs. The Sodi Racing USA by PK Sports is the official race team, producing many victories in different levels across the board. And the new Pro Race Academy is designed to cater to the next generation of motor racing, helping boys and girls aiming to make their mark. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about SodiCart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. SodiCart, the world leader in the karting industry.
Let decades of experience and success lead you to the top of the podium. Join Brandon Jarsakrak Racing as your race team at the sport's major events in the United States. Brandon Jarsakrak is a 4-time United States Pro Kart Series champion, along with a multi-time Superkarts USA Pro Tour and WKA Manufacturers Cup Series race winner. Jarsakrak is ranked among one of the best from his generation to get behind the wheel of a racing kart. BJR provides full race team service and support at all USPKS, SCUSA, and Stars Championship Series events, along with trackside programs at the Trackhouse Motorplex in Mooresville, North Carolina. Partnering with Mike Doty Racing, Brandon's team of driver coaches and mechanics are passionate for the sport, providing decades of experience both on the track and working with many of today's karting standouts and current motorsport stars. Brandon Jarsakrak Racing offers a full range of services, including kart preparation, driver coaching, and race event support for both 2-cycle and 4-cycle competitors. BJR is an official LN Racing Kart team with OTK USA and is an official offset sport race team. Contact them today to develop a program based around your needs. Head to BrandonJarsakrak.com to learn more. Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network. One of the Dave, go.
Yeah, I was going to say, and like you said, as a promoter side of things, you've got plenty of paddock space, so you don't have to pinch John off on his tent space.
Right,
like
bring
that.
everybody.
So, yeah, and like you said, it's just kind of a location thing. It's kind of just out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, we've seen WK go there many times, and racers were just there, I think, over Thanksgiving for the MGM race as well too. Yep,
exactly.
And we actually used the same tire. We used the Vega tire. We went up there to kind of get a little bit of testing in on some new go-karts that we're working on. But it was, I think that event had 80.
Yeah.
So, if that's a preview as to what the second Cup Kart South race is going to be, I would expect, I think that everyone is starting to respect the Cup Kart brand a little bit more, where you're not seeing other events scheduled on top of some of these weekends. Now, the same weekend as Winter Nationals, they're doing some open testing at Orlando. So I think maybe we're losing a couple of racers to that. It's, not, maybe 2 or 3%, is what we're losing. But
yeah, it's mostly the guys that are 2-cycle and 4-cycle, not 4-cycle only people. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes down to the fact that there's only 52 weekends in a year. That's all there is. They're not making any more weekends. It's just tough to do it,
And Cup Karts does 25 of them, right?
Exactly.
We're not at a time anymore where we're going to wrap things up in the middle of November. We have this big break off. There's Daytona, and then we go to a kart show somewhere in Illinois for a weekend,
right.
And then we start racing again sometime in March. It's, again, like you said, guys, it's nonstop. It's a race essentially every weekend.
Greg, it's taken Greg a long time. We've been doing this a couple of years now. And the first year, I'm like, Greg, we got to get started. It's Florida. Racing doesn't stop. I said, we got to be in January. And he goes, January? What are we doing in January? I'm like, well, we need stuff in January. And he's like, I don't know. We get started until February. I'm like, but we've got to be on it now.
Yeah, that's it. And look what you got. Now you've got numbers. You have momentum, which is obviously key. We mentioned Carolina Motorsports Park, Kershaw. That's your next run, and then at the end of April 25th, 26th, 27th, you go to Monticello. It's not a track that people hear about a lot in the sport. I remember when it first got built. I remember the SCUSA Winter Series was trying to go. The Florida Winter Tour was trying to go there at one point, or may have done that with Bill Wright. Let's talk about Monticello a little bit.
That is a place that just people dream to go to, and it is high speed, fast corners, big flow. I mean, it is just it's a fun place. I mean, I'm really happy with this year's schedule. It turned out really well. Monticello has always been a big pull for us. It's great to get west. We'll call that west. It's really not west, but it's still in Florida. But it's just a fun track. Everyone loves it. I think John can probably tell you from his side as team guys. Everyone loves going to Monticello. They enjoy it. Like I said, fast flow. speed. What could you not like?
It's the best asphalt to race on in Florida. The infrastructure isn't the greatest, but you get past the snakes and alligators and everything is great. Welcome to Florida. It is,
Right.
But like,
it really,
track?
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, we've run it now in two directions.
Yep.
The traditional direction, which is clockwise, is how we ran it the first time. We ran it counterclockwise the second time. Both made for very, very good racing. It's a matter of, it's kind of like Jacksonville. Do you want to draft early in the lap or do you want to draft late in the lap? And when you're drafting late in the lap and you've got a hairpin to make as basically your last corner, getting on to a short chute heading to the checkered flag, it makes for some very, very good racing.
Nice.
Yeah,
Over under at the end.
Yeah, same kind of concept as Kershaw. Not as many passing opportunities, but I mean, you can do it on about 3 different spots of the track, and it'll work just fine. The track races really well.
So
I mean, there's a couple of spots on Monticello. You drop a wheel off, and you're in trouble. And you should be able. You shouldn't be able to drop a wheel off, cut a corner, and be rewarded for it. Here, if you drop a wheel off, you cut a corner, you're punched.
You're in
and
trouble.
that's the way it should be.
You've lost all your momentum. That's awesome.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. So Jacksonville, Kershaw, Monticello, and you wrap it all up in June at Daytona. So that's big. Obviously, listen, the Spouty family's been to Daytona for Kart Week many, I'll keep going with many times, year after year. Back to Daytona, though, as part of CKNA. How excited are you for that program?
Okay, I'll get the elephant out of the room first. It's going to be hot. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be hot. It's going to be hot.
Yeah.
It's June. I don't think it matters where you're at in June. It's hot.
Yeah.
Okay, it's hot. So we're just going to get that over with. It's going to be warm.
Another challenge. That's
right,
fine.
exactly. I'm excited to get to Daytona in a couple weeks. I'll be over on the road race side, but I'll, of course, venture over to sprint side and kind of hang out and see what's going on. The new asphalt, I've heard nothing but good things about it. Talked to Speedway a few times. Haven't made it over there. Just, things happen. Can't get there. They're excited about the new asphalt. The relationship that we're building, this will be our second time going.
Yeah.
With the March race, this will be we'll call it their third, that'll be their third time not working with someone other than WK. So, they're still learning what our needs are. We're still learning how to work with them. I can't say any more good things about the Speedway. I mean, those guys, that was the easiest program to ever work with. As you expect, it's Daytona, they've got, you would think there's hundreds of people working. There's like 10 guys doing this thing. It is incredible how well they run the thing. But anything you need, they're on it. Daytona, it's Daytona. If I could win a wheelbarrow race at Daytona, it still counts. Randy and Randy Foltz, we always count our race wins at Daytona, but a Rolex, it counts for 2. We haven't got there yet, but but wheelbarrow racing still counts. So Daytona's just special. It's a great place. Track again, I think it's gonna be great with the new asphalt. Curbing's nice, fresh paint. It's gonna look real nice. I think it's gonna race nice. Parking is great. You're at the beach. I mean, what more could you want?
School's out.
Yeah,
School's out.
That's true.
For the most part.
Great way. Listen, and it's the finale as well.
Right.
Championships up for grabs. You're not only are you going to win a race there, you're going to win a championship at Daytona as well. And listen, there's 2 places in my mind where you go onto the tunnel and you go into the track. One's Indianapolis and the other's Daytona, right?
Yep.
You come out inside the track and it's just, you're at church, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's a question for you. So I'll bring this up. Bryce Frank Racing asked about that. So you look at the schedule. 3 races in Florida, 1 in South Carolina. Would you expand your way into like a Texas in the future? Let's kind of look down the line for you. It's a big haul from your core group of people.
It's a long ways, and that's the problem that we run into is that whenever we're a South Series, and I get that Florida's getting a couple races this year. I look at it as from where I'm at in Bushnell to Charlotte to kind of NOLA is kind of my triangle that I really should kind of stay around. That lets you get that pull from either of those points and you're okay. I want to be in Texas. I think there's a great following in Texas. We're just trying to figure out how to do it. What is it? Is it a South? Is it a Texas? We don't know what Texas should be. We know that there's people there that want us to come. We get it every time somebody wants us to come to Texas. Texas is it's 14 hours from me. So I know that if I got to go 14 hours, then there's, quite a few other people that, have to go further than that.
Hold on. Texas is 14 hours from Texas.
Exactly.
Well, and let's be honest, as you just said, there's 52 weeks out of the year. When are you going to go to Texas?
That's the other one, yeah.
So what Cup Karts needs to do is have a November, December, January program in the state of Texas to get everybody who wants to just race every month of the year to go down there and do that.
Cole's running for CKNA Texas. Got it.
There you go. He's too busy.
I'll get Mike Jones to do it.
There you go.
We pause our face-to-face broadcast for this quick commercial break. Stay tuned for more here on the EKN Radio Network. In this day and age, if you need something for your karting program, it's just one mouse click away. One of the leading online stores in the sport of karting is tsracing.com. The Florida-based company has been serving the karting community for decades. TS Racing is one of the few kart shops with technical expertise in all divisions of karting. TS Racing's online superstore features a full range of the products you need to start karting today, or to restock your garage or trailer for the racing season. TS Racing is also the official distributor for Vega tires. For dirt, road racing, sprint, and the most popular 4-cycle tire with Cup Karts North America, a wide range of Vega compounds and sizes are available for your karting needs. Head over to tsracing.com today or call 352-793-9600 to learn more about the Vega tire brand or the many products that they have at TS Racing. Made in the USA. It's not just a statement, it's the mission at Factory Karts of America. Led by 4-time Supernats champion Billy Musgrave, Factory Karts manufactures their frames completely in-house at the Riverside, California facility. Built and designed from the ground up specifically for the American karting market, Factory Karts brings new innovations and solutions that are long overdue. Factory Karts bring together the highest quality materials to produce a high-performance, long-lasting kart that has been designed and perfected from 3 years of development, with a focus for a big push across North America in 2023. No other karting manufacturer stands behind its product like Factory Karts does, providing a 2-year warranty on all their frames. Do you remember when American made meant innovative, original, stronger, faster, and just plain better? Well, American Made is back. Contact Factory Karts today to join the American Made movement. Learn more by visiting factorykarts.com or email Billy anytime at info@factorykarts.com. Welcome back to Face2Face on the EKN Radio Network.
I mean, they have a pretty strong regional program in place. So, I mean, you kind of don't want to go. Listen, I'm not a promoter, but we're gonna go race 4 out of the 5 TSRS races, being Precision Performance Karting, just because we want to get out and we want to race against the best of other parts of the country. But I mean, we're going there because I've heard good things about the program that Brittany runs.
This is it. CKNA doesn't really need to be there because they run a lot of Briggs in that program anyways, right? And that whole Texas Sprint Racing Series is a strong program for sure. No doubt about that. Yeah, love it. John, let's give you a chance in the spotlight here. Brett's obviously got a great program going here with CKNA South. Where are we going to see you guys John, throughout the year. I know obviously everything you do right now with Coyote Motorsports. I've had a chance again to run with you guys for multiple years at the Grand Nationals. The new Coyote Zenith product looks fantastic. You guys keep working on it. The 2025 model, which a couple of the guys rolled out at the Grand Nationals. I'm sure you're pretty happy to put that material under everybody here for the new year.
Yeah. So as far as the go-kart goes, the most significant change to the go-kart is the introduction of the billet pedal, which you have been bitching about for the last 3 years. So it's now it's real. It's in production. I just actually got 4 of them in today. Before we jumped on, I was wrapping up with a customer here. So that, and then we actually have a 30 millimeter tubing option, a little bit softer tubing now, in addition to the 1 1/8. You know, the 1 1/8 is still an all-American go-kart. Mm-hmm. The 30 millimeter uses a tubing that comes in us out of Italy. Excited, you know, I always say there's probably no nicer family, no better family to deal with from a manufacturer distributor relation than the Lipari family, whether it's Jim or Mark. I mean, just very genuine people.
And John, watching them work the Grand Nationals, there were so many Coyote drivers there. You could just see Jim going from tent to tent, talking to every Coyote customer. It was amazing. Genuinely
cares about the product. Listen, we've had a couple come to Jesus talks, you know, and I've been hard on him at times, but you know, I think he gets it, you know, and if I didn't believe in the product, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be racing. Yeah, I'm not racing, but I probably wouldn't be in the position that I'm in.
So, okay, you're doing Cup Karts North America South. You're going to go to a couple of TSR. Yeah, where else you go?
Yeah, so Cup Kart South, 4 out of 5 TSRS, select track house events. You know, I've pretty much Brandon. You know, Jarsa Crack is pretty much the track house guy. Looking forward to going back to the Canadian National Championships. I think there will be more than just one of us racing this year. I know Christopher has circled that on the calendar, and then there's a couple of other guys that are wanting to go. If allow it, you know, you'll probably see Paulie, Overbeck, and 1 or 2 other guys that'll go.
I need to look at that schedule. I don't know when that race is. I don't have to.
Paulie in Canada, that's trouble.
Paulie in Vegas was fun.
He was fast in Vegas too.
Oh God, the kid is always fast. So that, and then you know, we try and get to, you know, some fill-in weekends as far as the local programs, whether it's Jacksonville, Bushnell. Once February comes around, it's like 3 weekends a month.
Getting after it. Good stuff.
Yeah. We got a garage this year up at Track House, so it's going to make things a little more convenient where I'll be able to leave stuff and probably fly in and fly out, because Allegiant has a flight that leaves St. Pete on Thursday and leaves Concord Sunday afternoon. So perfect. In and out, it's going to be perfect. So,
John's loving it. That's great.
Yeah, no more putting miles on my dually.
Let's wrap this thing up, guys. We're 35 minutes in. Brett, some final words on CKNA South. Of course, it sounds like you're going to have a monster Winter Nationals, which is so good. Again, that 200 mark, we've always talked about that 200 entry mark being a big one. You're going to ideally get by that. Once John gets his drivers to enter,
right.
You're going to get by that 200
make
mark.
That happen tonight, yeah.
Christopher, you have to register.
Christopher McKeithen getting called out on this one here. Final words, Brett, that in the season. It sounds like it's going to be a benchmark one for South.
Yeah, I mean, last year we almost doubled numbers. I mean, if we did that again, I mean, this is going to be a huge season for the South. As John said, when you win a race in the South, you've won a race. And it doesn't matter if it's the Winter National, Race 4, Daytona at the end for your championship. When you beat these guys, you've beaten a lot of guys who are at the top of Spring Nats, Summer Nats, Grands. Same people
all going
those
through
races.
Cup Kart South.
they're all coming through us. So everyone likes coming. We've got great weather. We're super excited to have everyone come down. 200's a great number. I think we're going to average a good 175, maybe 160 this year for events. So come on down to race with us in the South. Good weather, good tracks, good fun. It's CKNA. We just enjoy it. We want to make sure you get bang for your buck. That's what it's about.
David, we talk a lot about the stability of the sport right now. CKNA is doing it on the foundation side, right? The regional level, the national level of Briggs racing. It's just so good to have a series like this so strong down in the Southeast.
David, that was your cue to.
Sorry.
That was a throw to you, Dave.
I lost the audio there for a second. My bad. My kids should be in bed, but they're all on the internet playing games.
That's true.
Right now, so it's been screwing up my internet.
David's here.
It's great to have the program.
You go, Dave.
Yeah,
I'll let you go with your dial-up internet.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for AOL to turn back on. Yeah, it's like Brett said, like the numbers continue to increase because again, Cup Karts started at the grassroots level. Now they've gotten all these racers on board with it, understanding it, and now they want to go race more and more and more. And they can do this from again kid kart age to legends age. So that's the stability of this program, and it's exciting to see. Yeah, I wish I lived in the South. I'd be part of it. That's for sure.
Maybe there's an Allegiant flight for you.
He's a Delta boy.
Yeah.
I leave him on Delta with his mom.
Delta flies in and out of Sarasota.
That's it. Go down there. John, we'll wrap up with you. You guys have won. PPK have won a lot of big races, right? A powerhouse, as I'd said. What's left to win? Is it the Canadian Nationals again, or where do you got to go? Because I know that when you guys came up to Goodwood, my phone was blowing up because people were texting who's the guy when you guys came up there. It was
hopefully there's a little bit of safety in numbers this year when we make it up to Canada. Christopher got beat up a little bit. They didn't appreciate what we did in Goodwood. He took his bumps, befriended some of those guys, and everything was fine. They treated us very well the rest of the weekend, very respectful. So we'd like to go up and run well at the Canadian National Championships. We'd like to go out and have some success in Texas. I think there'll be probably a little bit of interesting things coming out of what we got planned for that with Overbeck, because I'm pretty certain James will be with us for the majority, if not all, the TSRS races, maybe running a 2-cycle.
We're taking things up a level. I like it. That's good.
Yeah. We've been very, very successful and very blessed with the Zenith program on the 4-cycle side of things. We kind of concentrated with Parker a little bit last year on the Kryptonite. We've had some success with it. Unfortunately, he had a pretty bad tumble at Grands. That hurt us a little bit, but he's back. And, we're looking forward, to being a multi-dimensional go-kart race team, just not, one model.
Copy that. Well, there you go, folks. We, as I said, are into the previews for 2025. Brett Spouty from CKNA South and John Seglin from PPK joining us here on this edition of our Face2Face show. Again, lots more to come. Not sure that we'll have anything else before the end of the year. We'll get it when we come back around the corner. Of course, David and I are going to have to start as well with our Outlet podcast for the SCUSA Winter Series opener. That'll be coming up, of course, on the second weekend of January. But remember, January 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, if you're not already doing anything and Christmas is done and you're somewhere cold, get the cart in the trailer, drive down to Jacksonville. Let's see if we can't go to 250 because we're going to be over 200 at a massive event at the 103rd Street Sports Complex.
Don't be turned off by the fact that, pit spot is tight. Right. We'll find a spot for you.
We've got extra.
There you go.
We can make it work.
Yeah.
Don't miss out on this. This is going to be huge.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us. We'll drop you into the back of the studio here. Don't go anywhere. We'll chat with you afterwards. David, let's wrap things up. Listen, Daytona's always been big. We know that, right? And to have this race, people going into this one here, CKNA, the momentum that they're getting in the South, going on with everything they have currently on the east side of the country. This is big for CKNA, I think.
Yeah, you had the first initial events to get the base of it. Again, just like when they grew the 206 program, you got to start somewhere, and Karts South started somewhere, and now it's growing. And like they keep talking about, all the racers that you see up front at the Grand Nationals, they're all coming from the South.
Yeah.
A couple winners from this year, all, years past have been from the South. So it's great to see. I love the schedule. Again, the different racetracks. Again, you talk about Jacksonville as a beast of its own. Kershaw's a unique track, Monticello very fast, and then you have Daytona, which nobody has experience on unless you've been to WK Kart Week, and even now with the new pavement, it could be a little different. And so again, it's a great little element, and then they change it again probably next year. It all kind of, again, you have all these different elements to make it different each year.
That's it. And again, folks, the Winter Nationals, January 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, CKNA South at Jacksonville, 103rd Street Sports Complex. Fantastic, legendary facility. If you haven't been there before, get down there. It'll be a fantastic week. I want to thank again
site of the 1986 World Karting Championships,
which was a fiasco in and of itself.
Well, that's because Europeans didn't know about long straightaways.
True enough. Yeah, no chicane. There'll be no chicane.
No chicane.
There'll be no chicane this weekend. Folks, thanks for tuning into this one. I appreciate it. Of course, always, it's going to be on YouTube. You can go back and watch it at any time. More shows coming in January, February, and March. Otherwise, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Hope you guys have a fantastic holiday with the family. On behalf of David Cole, Brett, and John, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.